It started like any normal evening. I had just finished dinner, scrolling through my phone when a message notification lit up the screen. It was from my wife, Claire. I opened it casually, expecting a routine update about work or errands. Instead, the words hit me like a punch. "Hey, just wanted to let you know I'll be staying at Stephen's for a week. Don't worry, everything's fine." Stephen, my best friend. My trust in him was absolute, or so I thought. My heart raced. My mind scrambled. Why would she be at his place for a whole week? And why was this message so casual, so nonchalant, as if this were completely normal? I stared at the phone for what felt like minutes, rereading the message, hoping I had misread it. But there it was, clear as day. My stomach churned, and a cold dread settled in my chest. I called her immediately. "Claire, what do you mean you're staying at Stephen's?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Oh, it's nothing," she said, her tone annoyingly calm. "Stephen said he could help me with a work project. You know how stressed I've been. He offered me a place to stay for the week, so I can focus." I forced myself to breathe. "You're spending the night at his place?" "Yes. It'll just be a week." "I'll be fine," she replied. "Don't overthink it." But I couldn't. Every instinct I had screamed that something was off. Claire had never stayed anywhere overnight without me, let alone at my best friend's. And Stephen? I knew him well enough to know he wouldn't just offer his apartment for a week without reason. I spent the evening trying to act normal, but the tension was suffocating. I couldn't focus, I couldn't eat, and I couldn't stop replaying the text in my head. I thought about calling Stephen, but decided against it. If there was something shady, I needed to catch it carefully, without tipping anyone off. The next day, I did what I shouldn't have. I drove past Stephen's apartment. From my vantage point across the street, I saw Claire's car parked there. Everything seemed normal. A wave of relief mixed with guilt washed over me. Maybe she really was just working on a project. Maybe my paranoia was getting the better of me. But then a small detail caught my eye. A man's silhouette moved inside. It wasn't Stephen. My heart pounded. I had to know. I waited until the evening, then texted Stephen casually. "Hey man, wanted to drop by tomorrow to grab the project files Claire's been working on." He replied almost instantly, "Sure, come by around 6. The next day, I arrived under the pretense of picking up files. Stephen greeted me warmly, completely unaware of my suspicion. I stepped inside and immediately noticed how the apartment felt different. Claire's presence was unmistakable, yet something else lingered, a tension I couldn't quite place. "Thanks for letting me grab these," I said, pretending casual concern. Stephen smiled. "No problem, man. Claire's been working hard. She said you were busy, so she didn't want to bother you." I nodded, pretending to look at the files. Then, as if by accident, my eyes landed on Claire's laptop screen left open on the desk. And there it was, a chat window. Not about work, not about anything innocent. A conversation filled with flirty messages, jokes, and private memes. Messages that weren't meant for me to see. I froze. My mind couldn't process what I was seeing. It was clear. She wasn't just staying over for a work project. Something had been happening between my wife and my best friend. Stephen noticed my gaze shift. "Hey, everything okay?" he asked casually. I straightened up, my voice steady but cold. "Yes, everything's fine. Just picking up the files. Thanks." I left shortly after, my mind racing with betrayal and disbelief. On the drive home, I replayed every interaction, every text, every casual smile she had given me recently. The signs had been there, I had been blind. That evening, I confronted Claire. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just held up my phone, showing the messages. Her face went pale, her lips trembling. I can explain," she stammered, but I didn't let her. No, I saw enough. Staying at Stephen's for a week wasn't about work. It was about this, wasn't it? I said, quietly, "With him." She couldn't speak. Her silence said more than words ever could. I packed a bag that night. I didn't want to argue. I didn't want excuses. I wanted clarity, space, and control over my life again. I left the house, drove to a friend's apartment, and didn't look back. The next week, Stephen called me, pretending everything was normal. "Hey man, Claire's staying here to finish the project. Hope that's okay." I didn't reply. I blocked his number. And later, I filed for separation. It was over. The shock of the discovery was immense, but the deeper realization was that trust, once broken, couldn't be restored no matter how much love I thought remained. Weeks later, I heard rumors. Claire and Stephen had grown closer. I felt a pang of sadness, but also a strange relief. The truth, as painful as it was, freed me from illusions. The woman I thought I knew, the friend I trusted implicitly, had shown their true colors. Sometimes, the worst betrayals come from those you hold closest. And sometimes, the shock isn't in the discovery itself, but in realizing that the people you loved and trusted most were never truly on your side. That week changed everything. It left me shattered, yes, but also awake. I learned to trust my instincts, to value my dignity over denial, and to recognize that some relationships, no matter how long, are worth ending when honesty is absent. And as for Claire and Stephen, their laughter, their shared stories, their moment of intimacy, they were no longer mine to witness. I had been shocked, yes, but ultimately I was free.